All right. Good morning. Happy Thursday. Okay, so I felt like we just didn't have enough time to do what we were doing. So I'm going to allow you to actually work in class today. So let's take questions first. So assignment lesson 1.5 is due tonight. I want to answer any questions now that you might have about 1.4 or 1.5. The exam's on Tuesday morning at 8. Do you guys want to ask me about anything? And 1.4 or 1.5? Anybody want me to work any problems?
Yeah, one moment, hold on.
What's that? Okay, last call. Anybody have any questions, or anybody want me to work any problems?
Could we do a question like 4 again?
Are you saying 40?
4.
4?
Yeah.
On what
Or
page?
1.5? It's
Okay.
225.
Okay, number 4. Yeah. Okay. So the other day I was telling you that on this scratch paper you have to write a problem, and I not mean for you to write 500 words or some huge graph. Just write down the important information. So the important information on this, they're giving you a line, which is y is equal to negative 2x, and they're giving you a point, which is left 1 up 2. So they're giving you an equation and a point. So what they're giving you a line and a point. And what they want you to do is find an equation that's perpendicular. So this is what you want. You want to find the the pink equation that makes it perpendicular. So that's it as far as writing down the original problem. So this is the black line. So we need to know his slope. And since he's in slope-intercept form, we know the slope is negative 2, because this is negative 2x plus 0, right? So if the slope is negative 2, we need a new slope. Because if the line is perpendicular, where's my pink pen? We need the... Remember, if the slopes are perpendicular, remember you have to take the reciprocal and negate it. So the reciprocal would be negative 1/2, and to negate it would be a positive. So that's the slope you have to use for your new line. So now what you're going to do is you're going to use point slope form. And you're going to put your new slope in along with the point. So this would be x minus a negative 1, and this would be y minus 2. So they said that they want point form and slope intercept form. So your point slope form would just be this. So you have to simplify it down so it looks nice. Okay, that point slope form.
Can you go down a little bit?
So this is point slope form. So now you're going to write it again and solve for y. Now, I don't know about you, I do not want to distribute a fraction. So I'm going to get rid of that fraction by multiplying both sides by 2. So rather than distributing it, you can multiply by 2 and eliminate it. And since this is a one quantity, multiplying by 2 just gets rid of it. That's it. So you end up with 2y minus 4 is equal to 1 times x plus 1. So now all you do is solve for y. So you add 4, 2y is equal to x plus 5, divide both sides by 2. Y is equal to slope-intercept form is 1/2 x plus 5/2. That is the correct answers. So this is point-slope form, and this is slope-intercept form.
Oh.
So if the lines are parallel, we would have just used -2. But since the lines are perpendicular, you have to take the negative reciprocal.
Yeah.
So this is our new slope, and that's our point. So this you probably do. It's this. It's tricky. So
Yeah.
you can distribute the 1/2 if you want to. If you want me to show you that, I can, but I'm showing you the best way to do it. And that's just get rid of the fraction by multiplying by the reciprocal, And so I eliminated the fractions in the first step, and then I just solved for y to put in slope-intercept form.
Yeah.
Do you guys want me to work another problem?
Yeah, can we do 7?
7. Okay. Okay. So to write the original problem, I don't want to write all that. So I'm just writing that it passes through right 2 down 3, which is a point. And it's saying perpendicular to this line, which is what? Y equals 1/5 x plus 6. Okay, now once again, this says perpendicular. So we have to find his slope. It's already in slope-intercept form is 1/5. So what would our new slope be? Because once again, they're giving us a line and they're giving us a point not on the line, and we have to find this new equation that's going to go through that point that's perpendicular to the black line. So what's the negative reciprocal? What's the reciprocal?
5?
Yeah. So what would be the negative reciprocal?
-5?
Right. All right. So remember telling you to write down the equations because they act as a roadmap. It helps you to know where you're going. So the new slope is -5, and we just put the point in. This would be x minus 2, and over here, this would be y minus a -3. So your point slope form would be y plus 3 and -5 times x minus 2. And that is correct. I'm looking at it. Okay, then they want it in slope-intercept form. So what do we do first, you guys? To put this in slope-intercept form, what do? When you distribute?
Don't you get rid of the 3?
I would distribute first.
First.
Yeah, because getting rid of the 3, there's nothing to do on the right side. Whereas if you distribute first and then get rid of the 3, you can simplify. So this would be negative 5x minus 10 when you distribute. Now get rid of the 3. So when you get rid of the 3, now see how he goes away? So now we're done. It's y is equal to negative 5x minus 13. So distributing first makes the problem easier. Did I do that right? Okay, this is number 7, and it doesn't match what they have here. They have y is equal to negative 5x plus 7. Yeah, so what's going on? Either I made a mistake or the book is wrong. So I think this is right. Oh, this should be a minus. See this minus here? So this should be a minus. I wrote it down wrong. So a negative times a negative would be a positive. And so this would be 10 minus 3 is a 7. So my book is correct. I made a mistake. Now, I believe you can take the reciprocal, and I do believe we've gone over distributing, so you should be able to distribute and solve for y. That's all we're doing. Did it, Bernie, or no?
Also, the 10 is you're adding for 10? Oh, yeah, because yeah, okay.
A negative times a positive is a negative.
Yeah.
And a negative times a negative. This is distributing is a multiplication property.
Yeah.
When you have a number sitting on parentheses, you're multiplying. You subtract 3, 10 and negative 3 is 7. But up here, this is distributing, which is multiplying. Right? Are you guys okay or not really? You're not really okay. You can't do this.
Yeah, I'm okay with this one.
Okay. What about everybody else?
I'm okay.
Okay.
Yeah, same.
Okay. 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 All right. Do you guys want to do something else while I'm here?
Could we do maybe 10?
On the same lesson, 1-5?
Yeah.
Number 10? Okay.
Or do you feel like 13 would be, I mean, we're all going to get this on the test, but I mean, which one do you feel like we should work on?
Well, you should know how to do 10 and 13. You should know how to do 10 and 13. So, you want to try 10 first?
Yeah.
Okay, so 10 says the point is left 1 up 3. And it says it's parallel. So that means it has the same slope, the equation you're going to do, to this crazy thing in general form. It's 3x minus, what is it, 2y minus 5? Is that what it is? That's general form. So we can't even get the slope. We have to solve for y to get the slope. We can't, this is not in slope-intercept form. Remember, we can only get the slope if we have 2 points and use the slope formula, or if it's in slope-intercept form, this is general form. So this is a lot of work because you have to solve for y. So you can add, let me get a new pen. You can add 5 first. So you get 3x minus 2y equals 5. Then you can subtract 3x. So you get negative 2y is equal to negative 3x plus 5 because I'm putting it in slope-intercept form. And then, okay, you can either divide by a negative 2. I'm going to get rid of the negatives, okay? Or you can divide both sides by a negative 2. Be careful if you do that. So multiply by a negative 1, multiply by a negative 1, multiply by a negative 1, and then divide both sides by 2. So you get y is equal to 3 halves x minus 5 halves. And the only reason we went through all that work was to just get his slope. We don't use anything else with him because parallel lines have the same slope. So now we can use point slope form, y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. And we can put the slope in, which parallel lines have the same slope. And then we can put the point in. So this would be y minus 3 equals 3 halves times x minus a negative 1. So this would be y minus 3 equals 3 halves times x plus 1. And I don't want to distribute a fraction. So you can either multiply by the reciprocal, or we could just multiply by 2 to get rid of this. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. So you get 2y minus 6 is equal to 3 times the quantity x plus 1. So now you distribute. So this would be 3x plus 3, and we solve for y. Oh, they wanted general form. Okay, hold on. Okay, I thought they wanted slope-intercept form, but they want this one. And they want general form. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to subtract 2y from both sides. And I'm going to add 6. Because in general form, you want the x to be positive. So this would be 2y plus 9. So that's when you put everything on the right side or the left side, and this is positive, that's general form. So let me just check the answer. It's 3x minus 2y plus 9 equals 0. So general form's easy. You just have to put all the variables and the numbers on the left side or the right side, set it equal to 0, and then just make sure that your x is negative. If it was negative, multiply both sides by a negative 1. So this wasn't a nice problem. First of all, you had to solve for y to get the slope. This was easy, coming up with point slope form, but then you had this fraction that you had to deal with. And so I multiplied both sides by 2. If they want slope-intercept form, solve for y, but they want a general form. So put everybody on the right or the left and make sure this guy is positive. Wasn't nice. So if you notice the order that I'm doing things, first of all, if I have a fraction, I get rid of the fraction. The next thing I do is distribute. And then I start moving things, adding things to both sides or subtracting things from both sides. Do you guys get this or no?
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to do another problem?
Yeah.
What was that other one you mentioned?
13?
Okay, let's do 13. Okay, in 13, when you write down the original problem, it's f of x equals 3x from x sub 1 equals 0 to x sub 2 equals, what is that? 5? Okay, so remember when I taught this, I said you want to know what they're giving you? And what they're giving you is a linear function. So they're giving you a linear function. And they're giving you from x 0 to 5. And they say find the average rate of change. Okay, what's the formula for average rate of change? Isn't it delta y over delta x? And isn't that f of x sub 2 minus f of x sub 1 over the change in x? So the function we're going to use to evaluate, and yesterday and the day before I was evaluating quadratics. This is linear. So the function is going to change. It's not always a square. So now we have f of 5, just plug stuff in, minus f of 0 over 5 minus 0. So we have to evaluate this. So we're going to take the function and we're going to evaluate f of 5, which is 3 times 5, which is 15. And then we're going to evaluate f of 0, which is 3 times 0, which is 0. So in the numerator, we have 15 minus 0 over 5, which is 15 divided by 5, which is 3. So this is the average rate of change. So whatever function they give you, that's what you're evaluating for the numerator. And then the bottom is just x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Can you guys give me some feedback? Do you understand this? Or are you confused about this?
I understand this.
Okay. Anybody else?
No, I personally understand it.
Okay.
I understand it too.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, good. Okay, great. Just if you notice, every time I do a problem, I try to be real consistent about the way I'm writing it.
Yeah, yeah.
So because I think consistency will help with the confusion. So try to be consistent the way, like I always write the formula. I always write vertically and circle my answers. And when I'm evaluating these guys, I do it off to the side of my paper and I do them the same way every time. But one of the key things is writing this down so you can use it to follow. It helps you follow what's going on. So f of x sub 2 means f of 5. F of x sub 1 means f of 0. And then we're evaluating these over here. Okay, anything else? All right, well, I really want to give you guys time to just work because there are some issues, even just solving simple equations and distributing. So there's all kinds of different issues. And so I want to give you plenty of time to just work together. I am going to be changing the teams at some point, but I just haven't had time. Plus, I don't feel well. So I just haven't had time to do it. So the class is over today at 10:45, but I want to meet back here at 10:40. because I want to make sure that I answer any questions you might have. That's not a good pen. $10:45? No, 10:35, I'm sorry. So I want to have the last 10 minutes to answer any like pressing questions if there are any. Okay, I am going to be teaching a new lesson on Monday and the exam's on Tuesday. So I just really want to get a good grip on things today, especially since you're turning in the assignment 1.5 today. I just want to make sure we're just focused on the exam and 1.5. Okay. What I'd like you to do when you go into the teams today is we're going to do what we did yesterday that we didn't have a lot of time to do. I want you to work the globe problems. So work the globe problems, especially the ones that are given as at the beginning of each globe, because that's how I'm going to do the test. So I'm going to pick the easiest problems and make sure you know how to do, you know, the problems that we've been going over: parallel, perpendicular, average rate of change, and the velocity problems. That's 1.5. Okay, so I need one person again to actually, everything went really smoothly yesterday. There was one group that nobody had internet access, that they couldn't access the ebook. So that group, if you have internet issues again, I know what to tell you. You can just work problems out of the lesson. But for everybody else, I do want you to work the globe problem so that we all feel really comfortable about inputting answers into the exam. Okay. And yesterday when I was observing, you know, like I didn't know how to do an exponent, and somebody said, oh, you can just use shift 6 to do an exponent. You don't have to go to that box and pick the exponent. You can do a shift 6 on the keyboard to get the caret key to do an exponent. So make sure if you're wondering how somebody's doing something, make sure you ask them so you know how to input it. Okay, I'll see you in the teams. And I'll see you back here at 10:35. All right, did you guys make it back?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's funny because all of you were working the same type of problem. So I'm glad we came back because I want to work it for everyone. So let me show you. And I'll try to help you know where people are getting confused. So here's the problem. They're giving you a point and they're giving you a line. So it looks like this. And what they want you to do is, I might have drawn the picture wrong. Parallel, I might have done it perpendicular. Okay, whatever group I was in, I might have done perpendicular, and you don't want perpendicular. You want parallel, so they want this line. All right, so the thing is in order to write point slope form, because we're going to write point slope form and general form, you need the slope and a point. Now, we don't know, we need his slope, but it's not in slope intercept form. So you have to go through a lot of work to get the slope. So watch. We have to solve for y. Remember, slope intercept form is y equals mx plus b. So we have to add 5. We have to subtract 9x because I'm solving for y. Okay, now this is the first thing. I do not want to divide by a negative. So I'm going to multiply by a -1, multiply by a -1, multiply by a -1. So I'm only dividing by 8. So this is slope form. Y equals 9/8 x minus 5/8. And guess what? We did all this work just to get the slope. So in other words, we don't use him at all. We do use him just to get his slope. Kind of mean. Okay, does anybody want to ask me about this right now? So now that we have the slope, we can use the slope and use the point of our pink line. So this is the point on the pink line is what we want. So we put x minus a -8 is equal to y minus 3. Now that's so this was the equation of the black line in general form, and this is the equation of the pink line now. So let me fix this. So this is y minus 3 equals 9/8 times x plus 8. Okay, that is point slope form. Now they want general form. So I don't know about you, but if you look at the step-by-step on the globes, they're distributing fractions. I don't want to do that. So if you don't do the step-by-step, what we're going to do, which is not how I learned it, by the way, is we're going to multiply both sides by 8. So if this was a 7, I'd multiply by 7. If this was a 2, I'd multiply by 2. Whatever this number is what I'm multiplying in the blue, so I can cancel it. So whatever that fraction is, if it's 1/5, multiply both sides by 5. If it's 2/7, multiply both sides by 7. So what did I do? I'm going to distribute 8y minus 24 is equal to 9 times. So see how I eliminated the fraction completely? So now you're going to distribute. And now I'm going to set everything equal to 0 to put it in standard form. General form. So I'm going to subtract 8y. So this would be -24 is equal to 9x minus 8y plus 72. And I'm going to add 24 to both sides. You guys see this? So 0, that's general form. 9x minus 8y plus 96. Now, in general form, you just want that to be positive. So just make sure that your x is positive. So that's point slope form. This is general form. And this over here is slope intercept form, so we could get the slope. Remember slope intercept form is y equals mx plus b, so we can get the slope. So this is the worst problem because they gave us the black equation in general form, and we had to solve for y just to find the slope. So then we use the slope with our point on the pink line to write an equation in general form. Does that help or no? Okay, listen, this is what I would do. Hey, listen, this is what I would do. Turn your paper over and just try to do this problem on your own. If you get stuck, look at your paper. So don't try to do a new problem. Try to do this problem by yourself. And see if you can write this equation in slope intercept form and get the slope, and then look at your paper and see that you got it. And then turn your paper over, try to write the point slope form, then check your paper to make sure you got it, and then write the general form. And then after you do that, try another problem with different numbers. So that's what I would do is, I would just try to do this problem over again by yourself without looking at the paper. Okay, does anybody want to ask me about anything else right now?
I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm good.
Okay. Really, just knowing what you're doing helps because they're giving you a black line, they're giving you a point, and you have to come up with the pink line. So this is the equation of the pink line in point slope form, and this is the equation of the pink line in general form. This equation is this guy over here, which we don't even care about. All we care about is his slope. All right, I hope you guys have a great day. I hope that helped. Yeah, if you need extra help, just let me know. I'm available if you need me. All right, and I hope you have a good day. Okay, I hope you guys have a good day. Okay, have a good day.